From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Good afternoon, everyone. Normally on the weekends, I try to give myself a bit of a break and just did the two updates, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, or one in the evening, excuse me. But, I was home, didn't have much to do, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, there's some stuff going on this weekend, too. A lot of you may have some plans, and we've got some weather that could impact some of those plans. So let's take a look at some of the latest forecast model data. And there are some changes as far as, especially in the long range that we're looking at here when we're talking about next week. And we'll get into that here in a bit, but cooling trend, that starts this week. And it's still going to be pretty hot. We did start the morning off, quite honestly, some unexpected clouds this morning for really many parts of Northern California. Those should start to dissipate through the afternoon, so more sunshine, especially for the valley this afternoon, and still pretty hot too. But we do have a big temperature drop going into next week, and I'm beginning to see better signs for a significantly cooler temperature, especially by the middle to latter part of next week. We'll get to that in just a second. And we're still looking at more showers and thunderstorms here this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, and it's going to extend on into your Monday as well. Let's start off with the smoke. And most of the smoke this morning was around just to the north and west of the mountain itself, and into Wairika, into Weed as well, and then westward. The smoke, of course, got more and more dense as you started getting closer to the fires. As we go through the rest of the afternoon, you can see how it kind of breaks up a little bit and kind of retreats back off to the west. But then later this afternoon and evening, it starts to kind of push back over us and then to the south. And what will happen is it'll kind of overspread. So you kind of take one big blob of butter, for example, right? And then you spread out that butter out, and it's kind of, you don't have a really dense area of smoke. You kind of spread that out, and you can see here, as we go into tomorrow morning, what I think is going to happen is you can see for all of Siskiyou County, western Modoc County, and even some of the mountains just to the south of that, especially even into northern Trinity County, there will be some fairly decent haze, and you may also have that just faint smell of smoke. This is not a major smoke event, but you are going to most likely at least see a bit of that orange glow in the sky in the morning hours on Sunday. And there's not much relief going through the day on Sunday as well. So just be aware of that if you're heading up to the north into Siskiyou County and even into the mountains of Shasta County. There could be some issues here with some of that smoke, and mainly in the form of, I think, just some haze. And the air quality shouldn't be too much impacted by that. Hour by hour for the rest of the day today, I think we're still going to get into the upper 90s for Redding, mid 90s for places like Chico and Red Bluff. And we do have, for the mountains, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Now, everyone will see the chance, but not everyone in the mountains will see that rain, and we'll get into that as we take a look at the futurecast here in just a bit. Did lose a little bit of data this morning. That's why you're seeing a little bit of a glitch here in the satellite image here, but you can see here the progression of this storm as it does begin to move a little bit closer to us. Now, another thing that I'm watching is this right here. You see this little spin? You can barely see it because, again, some of that lost data, but there's a bit of a spin in the atmosphere. This is the area of low pressure. But notice there's not a lot of clouds associated with it. And there's a reason for that. It's dry. Number one, a lot of dry air out there. But number two, this low pressure system, as it moves off to our west, we have got on the east side of that low pressure the most amount of instability. And that's what's going to give us the showers and thunderstorms today, tomorrow, and even Monday. Then it will shift down to our south and shift off to the east and move out of here. But then I've got my eyes on this area of low pressure here. Now, what's changed, and when I was talking about there's some changes to the long-range forecast, beginning to see that. This particular forecast model, since this solution has some colder air coming down from Canada, has kept this area of low pressure well off to our east over Nevada and even making its way into Utah. The European forecast model, since this solution over the last few days, has kept the low pressure system right over Northern California. So with this solution that we're seeing right here, this gives us significantly cooler temperatures and the potential for showers and thunderstorms. Not just for the mountains, but the valley could get in on some of that come next Thursday and Friday. So that will be interesting to see if that actually pans out. We're beginning to see both the European and the American forecast model come into alignment with this solution right here. So the confidence is getting a little bit higher for the potential for the cooler weather and chances for rain by the latter part of next week. So that'll be interesting. Now, this model takes it off to the east here by Saturday. The European forecast model kind of keeps that overall trend of cooler air in place. So we'll see what happens after Thursday and Friday, but bottom line, we're at least beginning to see a low pressure system over us eventually. All right, let's talk about what's going to happen today, tomorrow, and even Monday. This is today at about 2 p.m. You see how the thunderstorms, and they really hasn't changed since a whole lot since this morning. You can see the activity developing in southern and central Trinity County. Just beginning to see some activity in parts of Plumas County. Now we go to 4 p.m. today. You can see right around southeast of Bernie. So what we're seeing here is Lassen Volcanic National Park. No, that's actually right here. Excuse me, I apologize. This is actually the park right here. So you can see some thunderstorms pretty close to the national park. So we could be looking at some activity there, not to mention down into Plumas County. We go into 6 p.m. today, and there you can see more activity, especially out into Plumas and eastern Lassen County. And, you know, much like what I was saying this morning, I think the bulk of the activity will be off in the eastern mountains in the mid to late afternoon hours into the evening, because even as we go into about 10 o'clock tonight, you can see it all begins to dissipate and we're getting a break from that wet weather. Now, as we go into Sunday, let's see another repeat, 2 p.m. We're beginning to see just some light showers and thunderstorms developing. Here, of course, is the park. Now we take you into Sunday at 4 p.m. Now it's right around Susanville. So basically in Lassen, northern Plumas County, we're seeing some of that heavier rainfall. Looks like out towards Modoc County, and not to mention some of these thunderstorms in Siskiyou County. Again, keep in mind we're looking at Sunday now. We go into Sunday p.m. and there you can see right around Lassen Park, we're seeing some of that activity, mostly in Modoc County as well, and not as much activity at this point for Siskiyou County. Now, by Sunday night, 10 p.m., you can see it's all pretty much gone. But as we go into Monday, as expected, we're seeing another round of thunderstorms popping up, and especially after the north and east. But there you can see in northern Trinity County and in parts of Siskiyou County, seeing the thunderstorms. But I'm expecting by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, to see a break from the showers and thunderstorms. Now, temperature-wise, still pretty hot in the valley today, but temperatures are dropping. And I'm beginning to feel more and more confident in these cooler temperatures. And quite honestly, I may be dropping these temperatures by several degrees if that colder air solution comes in by next Thursday. We may even drop down into the 70s as early as Thursday. So we'll kind of keep you updated on that as we get closer to next week and get a better handle on the overall timing and intensity of that colder air, not to mention the chances for rain. Today, still pretty warm. Again, those clouds this morning, but I think a lot of those clouds will start to dissipate for the afternoon in the valley, and that should make for another hot day, mid to upper 90s. For the mountains, chances for showers and thunderstorms, you saw that on Futurecast, and that's pretty much going to be the case here today with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, some low 90s for some of the warmer spots like Wairika. Here's your 7-day outlook for the mountains. There's the chance for everyone in the mountains today, tomorrow, and Monday. All right, you saw in Futurecast where it's going to be isolated. Some days you may see it, some days you may not. It just depends on the particular location those thunderstorms, where those thunderstorms develop. I think everyone will see a break come Tuesday, Wednesday, and then again seeing some good. The forecast models are agreeing on that potential for showers and thunderstorms possibly come Thursday and Friday of next week, not to mention significantly cooler temperatures. So when we look at the valley, yeah, remember this morning you didn't see the rain in there, but now that we're seeing those long-range forecast models align a bit better, I'm seeing the potential for even the valley seeing some of those showers and possibly even some thunderstorms come Thursday, Friday. And quite honestly, I think these temperatures are probably going to be cooler if that solution comes into play. So we'll watch this I'll watch this closely for you. Be sure to keep checking in if you have outdoor plans at the end of next week. But until then, still dry, still hot over the weekend for the valley, but temperatures should start to drop as we take you through next week. So 90s this weekend, but by next week, temperatures are actually dropping down to the 80s and 70s, especially most likely by Thursday and Friday.